Assalamu alaikum, this is Hira, and today my presentation topic is types of guidance assigned by Dr. Amjad Ali Arain. So first type is educational guidance. It is a process of assigning the individual student to reach optimum educational development. It helps the student to make right choices as well as make judgments in relation to school curriculum, courses and school life, which is contribute to all-round development. Educational guidance involves the educational development of these individual students. Educational development means that the student is guided at the academic level. And right choices means that what is the better for the students. Educational guidance are very helpful for students that takes the right choices for yourself. Courses, curriculum, school life, all of these things get better. Students has a good development in education. And it's called an all-round development of student. So when we will provide educational guidance to the students, it will help the students a lot, like they will be able to get right choices for themselves, take judgments which school is best for them, if they are learning curriculum, so what it is, what courses should they have. So that is all round development. Educational guidance answer the following question. First is, what is student best suited for? What field should he go and what should he study? If he is good at sports, he will go to the sports. If he is good in studies, he will go to the studies. So educational guidance gives the answer of these types of question. Second question is, what type of education will reveal his inborn capacities and help him to develop them? Now capacities in children is inborn, so what kind of education should it get that will help him to further develop his capacities? Third question is, what is the purpose of his learning and study? What is the purpose of studying any student? The complete answer of all these questions is provided by the educational guidance. Now educational counseling. It is a field focused on the preparation of students professionally apply the theory and principles of guidance and counseling for the personal, social, educational and vocational development of others. Now in educational guidance, students selected best syllabus, curriculum, school and best environment as well. But in educational counseling related, now students have to go professional. So to guide the students professionally, educational counseling is very much important. Second type is vocational guidance. Vocational guidance is a process of assisting the individual to choose an occupation, prepare of it, enter upon and progress on it. Vocational guidance is a process not only to select right occupation or right vocation, but it is assistance giving to an individual to select proper or correct occupation or prepare for it. Also, preparation for the correct occupation included in vocational guidance, and enter it up on how to enter in that particular vocation, that is also included in vocational guidance. After enter in that occupation or vocation, how to progress in that, that is guidance which is called vocational guidance. The following steps are involved in vocational guidance process. First is, information is collected from the candidate and his parents regarding his achievements. Second is, more information about the candidates can be known by giving him certain tests such as interest test, aptitude test, personality test, etc. Third is, his health, height, weight, etc. should also be given due to weightage. On the basis of the information collected, the candidates will be guided as to which job is best suited to him. In fact, vocational guidance is needed at schools and college level. On the basis of this guidance, students may choose science, commerce or arts faculties. Third is personal guidance. Personal guidance deals with the problems of personal adjustments in different sphere of life, that is health, school, emotions, psychological, etc. Hence, personal guidance deal with all those problems of life which are not covered under educational and vocational guidance. So personal guidance is very much important for students. In fact, personal guidance occupies an important place in the kingdom of guidance as well as in the life of individual. Each and every moment of life, individual faces thousands of problems like social, health, psychological, besides educational and vocational problems of life. So personal guidance is the help giving to an individual to solve his personal problems. How to render personal guidance? First is a collection of all information or data. Personal guidance need to various possible useful related data information regarding student touching their physical, mental, social, emotional interest, aptitude and attitudes, aspects of life which are to collect it carefully. Second, diagnosis of the causes of the problems. Adequate diagnosis of causes of the problems should be made on the basis of collection of data regarding students. Third is thinking about the remedial measures. The guidance personnel should think rightly about the remedial measures after the step diagnosis of the causes of the problems. Fourth is rendering personal guidance. Rendering personal guidance service to help the students stating their problems and its causes by means of techniques like regarding counseling, psychological analysis, limitations, advice with affection and situational feelings. Fifth is follow-up service. Lastly, follow-up service should be made to evaluate the effectiveness of giving the guidance service. To fulfill this purpose, the personal guidance may take help of the techniques like interview or question answer methods like that. Fourth type is group guidance. Group is made up of 2 or 4 people with a common purpose. And guidance, which means to guide, to weigh or give direction to the individual. Simply, group guidance means guidance given in group situations or guidance given groups. Those activities of guidance which carried in groups to assist group members. A group should have a common goal, focus on a specific topic at a time. It is guiding the individual and group situations. Here are some activities. First is class talk. Basically means that interaction between student and teacher. Student and teacher interact on one topic. Teacher guides the student on general topic, like if teacher want to tell about time management to the students, so teacher will organize a class talk. Second is orientation program for new entrants in schools. Orientation programs for new entrants in school. When new admission students enter in the school, then management organize an orientation program for those students, in which organization provide information regarding curriculum, faculty and infrastructures of school. Third is group discussion. Group discussion is a useful group guidance activity in permissive situations comprising of members having common needs. The students learn to talk freely about those things that worry them. It helps students define their working in groups. Now, fifth type is career guidance and counseling. Career guidance is assisting individuals to achieve their identified career options and professional goals, acting as a guide to leading directly course of action. In these, students and individuals has already chosen which is the career they need to go for. After that, they don't know how to plan their career to reach that goal. So career guidance will help you to reach your goals with the help of advice and guidance. So here career guidance will act to and acting as a guide and leading direction or course of action. Here is the example of career guidance. The student has decided to become fashion designer. Now career guidance will them to choose which stream they need to take, what exam need to prepare, which college has better options based on financial conditions. Career counseling. Career counseling is a process that will help you to know and understand yourself through career assessment test. In assessment, career counselor will identify the intrinsic potential, intelligence and personality. Each and every professional requires set of intelligence and personality traits based on report. Counselor will recommend which professional need to choose. In these, career counselor will make you do the complete career assessment test and understand. Based on the assessment, career counselor will identify the intrinsic potential, multiple intelligence and personality traits. According, each and every professional required a set of intelligence, personality traits. Career counselor will take the complete reports and then they will recommend you which are best profession you should focus on. Sixth type is ethical guidance and counseling. Ethics is an integral part of the counseling process. Ethical guidance tells about what is right and what is wrong. Ethics define the framework of professional counseling session. So, ethics is the most important part of counseling. Ethics are rules. Ethics is knowing what is good and what is bad. Codes of ethics for ethical and effective counseling. According to Sui and Sui, 1999, the following requirements are essentials for ethical practice of counseling. Counselor must be aware of their own racial and cultural biases. So, like, there might be people who would say that, okay, I really constant people, I don't like it, so that is a bias, right? And you must be aware to your own biases. Second is, counselors should try to understand the cultural values of other cultures. Sometimes counselors tend to think our culture as being better over as compared to other culture. So that is important thing that the counselor respects the values of the other culture as well. Being fair for all clients, respecting their human rights. Counselor must be fair to the all clients and give the same quality service to our clients. Proper termination. When you are terminating the session, you need to terminate it properly. Develop culturally suitable counseling practice and also develop culturally suitable counseling practice. Here are some principles of ethical conduct. First is fidelity. Fidelity involves the notions of loyalty, faithfulness, and honoring commitment. Clients must be able to trust the counselor and have faith in therapeutic relationship of growth is to occur. Second is autonomy. Autonomy is that principle that addresses the concept of independence. It addresses the responsibility of the counselor to encourage clients when appropriate to make their own decision and to act on their own values. Third is beneficence. Beneficence reflects the counselor's responsibility to contribute to the welfare of the client, simply means to do good or to be proactive and also to prevent harm when possible. Fourth is maleficence. Maleficence is a concept of not carrying harm to others, often explained as above all, do not harm. This principle is considered by some to be the most critical of all the principles. Fifth is justice. Justice does not mean treating all the same because of individual is to be treated differently. The counselor need to be able to offer a rationale that explains the appropriateness of treating this individual differently. So seventh type is health guidance and counseling. Health is regarded as the wealth. Health guidance is to correspond to health problems of the insured individuals. The health guidance may be cooperative effort of principals, doctors, counselors, psychologists, teachers, students and parents. Not only doctors can guide you about health, but principals, counselors, psychologists, teachers, students and parents can also guide you according to your health. Last is total health, which includes preventive and curation is the goal of the health guidance. Curative care refers to the health care practices that treat patients with the intent of curing them, not just reducing their pains or stress. And preventive care, healthcare deals with the prevention of illness to decrease the burden of disease and associative risk factors. So here are all the types of guidance, and this is all about my presentation. Thank you so much.